What's up guys, welcome back to another video. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm JJ, a self-taught filmmaker in South Florida. And today I'm gonna be going over how I shoot interviews. So if you want your interview videos to look like this,
I kind of left it messy and that kind of plays into,
then stick around. Now this probably isn't gonna be like other how to shoot interview videos that you may have checked out. Because in this video, I'm not shooting under my ideal conditions. I'm gonna be in a messy area, as you can see behind me. So there's a limited room for me to actually set up the gear that I want. And I'm not actually going to be using some of the things that I might actually want to have on set. So even if you are a little bit limited, you can still get good looking interview footage. Now I'm actually setting up to interview myself. I'm going to talk about a recent short that I did. It's called JJ's Game. If you haven't seen it, you can check it out in the card up above. It's okay, but I kind of wish I could have done better. And as I make more of these videos, I will. And so I'm out here in storage where I shot the short, and instead of shooting this way, because there's a lot of stuff back there, I decided to shoot back this way. That way I could have the pool table, which is basically the entire set, in the background. So you're gonna be kind of looking at something a little bit like this. I wanna use the sides and the angles of the pool table to kind of act as leading lines. But there's also some stuff back there, and I'm thinking that maybe I can use the edges to also be leading lines, but probably not. So they may be a little bit distracting, but I can't really do anything about that. That's kind of just the ambience here. And I wanted to set up the cameras right about where this one is, but a bit lower. And I'll be facing off this way, and that brings me into lighting. And so I didn't want to use any of the overhead lighting in here because it's a little bit gross, as you can see. But my main key light here is going to be a newer FS 150 with a softbox on it. I don't remember how big this one is, but as you know, the bigger the softbox, the softer the light's going to be. And over here I set up my backlight, which is basically like 180 degrees from where I have my key light set up. That's not like a hard and fast rule or anything. That's just the way it kind of turned out, and I really liked it. And I wanted to keep it warm to kind of help complement my skin tone. This one is the newer CB60, I believe, with a smaller softbox on it. Normally with backlights, it's perfectly fine to have harsher lights. That's why this one got the smaller softbox, even though it's not a ton smaller than my key light. And that's basically it for what I was thinking for lighting. And now you're probably saying, hey, what about the background? You didn't light up the background at all. And you'll see it in the interview, but there's actually a window at the top of this door over here that casts a pretty good amount of light on the background. And now I'll get into my cameras and their placements. I have the main camera, my Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K, and this one here is the Pocket 4K. This one's a medium, this one's a tight. That was a creative decision on my end. I believe in most setups you'll see the medium actually be more of the front facing, and then the tighter shot be more of like a side profile. There's also something when shooting interviews called the 30-degree rule, where you want your camera angles to be at least 30 degrees apart. That way, when you're cutting between them, they don't look like jump cuts, because those don't look great in interviews. These are what the two angles look like. Let me know what you guys think of them. And as many of you may know, to really bring a video together, you need good audio. And so for the interview, I'm going to be going with this microphone that I actually haven't used a ton, but it's $80 on Amazon. It's the brand Boya. I haven't heard too much about them, but I really wanted to test this mic out. From my preliminary test, it was pretty good, so I'm hoping it sounds amazing for the interview. But I have it on this sort of cheap stand that I got off of Amazon. It wasn't initially made for this microphone, so the microphone itself is too heavy, so when it's mounted on here, it won't stay how I put it. And many of you veteran filmmakers may know what I decided to do to fix that. Since I'm recording into the Zoom H4n Pro, I just took the XLR cable, wrapped it around a few times, and then hung it over the other side as a counterweight. Yell at me in the comments. So that's just about all I have for you guys for this video. Please don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment and subscribe if you want to see more of my work, gear reviews, and some filmmaking tips and tutorials. And I'll see you guys in the next video.